All right, here we go. Episode 2, Hornography. Welcome back. Episode 2 of Hornography, Perth Monthly Metal Club. For those who don't know what the Hornography event is, it's a monthly show that's been happening for 7 years. I think we're in the 8th year now.
8th year now,
2018. It was first started by Dicey and Cabba back in the day. And then I took over in 2023. And then you joined 25
last year.
Yeah. And basically it's, live music, giveaways.
In
it's a
Perth,
club,
by the way.
Yeah, Perth, Western
Perth,
Australia.
Just not Perth, Scotland. Not there's anything against it, but
But anyway, so Hornography, obviously it's a club setting. So you meet up with all your friends and like-minded metalheads and stuff like that. And, you enjoy some live music and giveaways and metal DJs and all kinds of, cool stuff, So
all metal all the time. Last weekend of the month, either a Friday or Saturday.
Usually we've been getting back into Saturdays because last year we had a lot of Fridays.
Yeah.
But now we're back on Saturdays for the most part.
It's at the moment at the Civic Hotel in Perth.
Yes.
In Inglewood. In Inglewood. Well, it's called the Milk Bar, but Civic Hotel.
Civic Hotel, everyone still knows it as that.
Yeah. Beaufort Street.
It's a great venue. I absolutely love it. And in all honesty, Hornography's moved to quite a few different venues over the years. Started out at the Boston, which is now Linnets Lounge, and then moved to Lucy's Love Shack, and then went to Convenience. And then we went to Old Habits in West Perth for a year.
Yeah, that was cool. Shut down.
It actually did a couple of events at Amplifier and at Civic Hotel before when Dicey was running actually. Yeah. So just for one-off events and stuff. But it's good to be finally settled into a venue every month, rather than having to switch around and stuff. So and the Milk Bar's been great, been very, very accommodating, and love all the production and stuff, because that's kind of what I do now as well. So it's been a fun time. And last month, in January 31st, our first show of the year, that was a great turnout and a great night.
Yeah, I would agree. I was surprised given there was so many gigs on previous to that, in the form of, I think that week there was 3 or 4 gigs. So you had Mork from Norway.
Yeah.
They played. There was another gig. It was like a metalcore sort of gig. I can't remember during the week.
Swallow the Sun possibly? Or
no, Swallow the Sun was the week before. Yeah, so the weekend before Swallow the Sun. Then there was Mork on the Tuesday or the Monday.
Yep. Then
on the Thursday, I went to see Till Lindemann.
From Ramstein?
Yep, at Metro's Perth. That was really good.
Yep.
It was like Ramstein, but even weirder. Minus the oomph and the flames. It was just weird. And Joey Letts from Combi Christ was on drums.
All right.
So it was pretty cool. It was a good show. And then 2 days after that, Froth and Fury Festival. And then the week after was when Hornography was.
Yeah. But yeah, the first, we'll get into Froth in a minute, but definitely the Hornography show, the first one of the year. January, I picked it out as well in the last episode. Like I said, the January show always does really well because it's the first show of the year and everyone's kind of keen to get back into it.
Yeah, like I said, it was just that there was a lot of gigs that week and I was expecting a bit of a lower turnout, but it turned out really good. So thank you very much to the Perth metal community and all the Hornography regulars, and there was a lot of different people there I hadn't seen before, so it's good. I mean, that happens a lot now at Hornography, so it's good. It's attracting regulars and new audiences, and then people who are interested in seeing the bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, come on down. We're there every month, and that's where the metal is. Metal lives there. So come see us, come say hi, and get involved.
And shout out to the bands that played as well. We'll give them a shout out because they're all great. Dripped, Bile Cannon, Cytopia, Oxen, and Slaughter the Soul all did really great. And thanks to everyone. Sound was good. Yeah, sound was good. And thanks to everyone that came down and supported the event. It was a great way to kick off the year,
Yeah, good. It's a good way. We've set the standard now, and hopefully we can keep raising the bar every month.
Definitely, yeah.
So obviously this is episode 2. We're in February of 2026.
Yep.
So do we want to talk about next month, or do we want to talk about...
Well, we'll get into that a bit in a minute, but I reckon we should talk about Froth and Fury because that was so far the highlight of the year. I mean, it's still early on, but that was such a great day out.
Okay, one thing I want to say before we get into Froth and Fury is that people say nothing ever happens in Perth, and I would suggest that week alone...
Yeah.
I kind of just want to say, shut the fuck up. There's heaps going on in Perth. You just got to know... that whole week would have sent most of us that tried to get to as many shows as possible broke. and it did.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't have to pay for Froth and Fury because
you played, obviously.
All This Filth.
So,
in case you don't know, I'm Brendan. I'm the lead vocalist of All This Filth, as well as the MC and part of the Hornography team. And yeah, we got to play at.
So give us, we'll talk about the punter's perspective, which is what I sort of experienced, but from a performer's experience, what was it like on your end?
Okay, I will say this festival, and I'm not just saying this because we played, as a artist and a performer, this was the best organized festival I've ever been a part of. And even as a punter as well, because after we played, obviously, I was just walking around watching bands. Obviously, Nail Bomb, Soulfly.
Oh, Nail Bomb was the highlight.
Everybody says that. Yeah. Before we even... It's Nail Bomb. Just Nail Bomb.
Yeah.
If you don't know Nail Bomb, go check out Nail Bomb. If you get a chance to see him live, go check it out.
See him now, because you don't know if they're going to come back again.
It was Soulfly. I love Soulfly. I love all things Max Cavalera, but Soulfly was fantastic. But Nail Bomb was on just before them, and that it was so many people were like, that was the highlight of my festival, and there were so many great bands. So I guess it depends what you get into. Polaris put on a good show as well, and I saw Aborted early in the day. It was solid.
Yeah.
And who else did I see? There's so many bands. It was all day. It was just hit after hit. No filler, all killer, as they say. So,
but it was really great to see that nice mix of the international bands, the interstate bands, and all the local Perth bands as well. And everyone showed up to all of them. There was a good crowd for all the bands that were playing.
I'll say I can only speak to my experience on the compound stage. So there was 3 stages at Froth and Fury. You had the Froth stage, the Fury stage. Which one was the one inside? Was that the Fury or the Froth stage?
I don't know actually.
Either way, the 2 main stages was the outdoor one was either the Froth or the Fury one, and then there was an indoor inside the Perth HPC, which was either the Froth or the Fury stage, and then the compound stage also outside, which was also fantastic. So, like I said, as an artist, the setup, the layout was perfect. Just you can get anywhere from any stage relatively easy without too many choke points. There was access to bars, food, everything, merch, easy to get to. Everything was easy to find, easy to get to.
And no big lines either. Which
exactly.
Shocking.
And I did not experience a line all day.
Nah.
I would say the backstage, crew, the everybody, the sound engineers, the stage...
stage managers,
stage hands, everybody was fantastic, on point, very accommodating, very helpful. So we were never lost and just left there to sort of our own devices, walking around, be I don't know where we are. We knew exactly where we were, what we were doing, and what times. So, and that was the same for all bands. A lot of the local bands, we helped each other out. Big shout out to Brendan Knock and the boys from Iniquitous Monolith. Dan Granger and the Silent Night crew as well. We were all sort of backstage helping each other out, sharing the same drum kit and such. So, but yeah, it was the sound also, as a punter and as a artist, the sound was exceptional. It was the best sound I've ever heard at an outdoor festival. Yeah. Full stop. End of story. So, big shout out to Dicey and Brad from Soundworks Touring and the original crew, Anita and Jason for the Froth and Fury crew, and everyone involved, because they're genuinely the best. And I'm not just saying, I've been to a lot of festivals in Perth. This was the best festival that's ever come to Perth. Better than Soundwave, better than the Big Day Out. Fight me. That's my opinion, and
I think a lot of people will agree with that, because I talked to so many people that all said the same thing, that the whole day was just a relaxing experience, and they got to see all the bands they wanted to go see and didn't have to figure things out and worry about clashes and all that stuff, you know what I mean? It was.
There was clashes. We were on at the same time as Archspire.
Yeah, we did pretty well, considering that Archspire were playing at the same time.
Archspire at the same time, but there was easily 700 or 800 people in the compound area watching us, and they, like I said, always say thank you so much to the ATF crew and the local metal community that came out and supported All This Filth. Really means a lot to us, and all the other local bands, and just all the bands. Anyone who came out that day, it means the world to us, because hopefully we can continue.
Well, that's it,
and hopefully
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Financially, it works, and because I know, I've spoken to a few people, And on the ground, everybody agrees. On the ground, everyone agrees. It was a success.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, like I said, best organised festival, best sound, hands down, best festival that's ever been in Perth, in my opinion. Financially, that's up to the powers that be at Soundworks and the Froth and Fury people to see if they're going to bring it back next year. As we all know, it's really expensive putting on just a show in Perth, let alone
having that many bands on, and bringing them over.
And just the production. Everything's so much more expensive because we're so isolated here. Yeah. But no matter what happens, whether it comes back or not, I want to thank everyone who brought it across, because it was a day that most of us won't forget. It was exceptional.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about it. Exceptional. If you missed out, I feel sorry for you.
There was a couple of people I know that didn't go, and I was like, oh, you missed. It was just, especially if it was the first one, like it was a very sort of important note in the music festival sort of scene in Perth, because we haven't, you mentioned, we haven't had a festival here in quite a long time. And
it's been over 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, Soundwave was 2014, I think. And then
the last Soundwave in Perth in 2014, that was a Joondalup Arena. That was probably the best Soundwave that was in Perth, organised anyways. Finally got it right, and then they call it off. But,
Yeah, but and I remember all those festivals back in the day, Big Day Out and all that kind of stuff. So it's great to sort of it was a little bit weird going in there and oh my God, we got a festival again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I honestly, I've been to other festivals over East and stuff, for other Soundwaves and Download and all that kind of stuff. But it was just nice to have it in our own hometown, you know what I mean? So it was just great to also run into a lot of people that we knew, all the metal crew in Perth, you know what I mean? So it was fantastic.
I mean, and that's just it as well. Is a lot of people were saying, oh man, not a lot, but I know some people that were like, dude, I can't afford a ticket. It's $220. My argument is $220 to go to a festival in your hometown to see possibly see 28 bands if you could somehow manage it. So it's 28 bands, $220, or you fly over east to see 2 or 3 bands, and then you're paying double that just for your flights, plus accommodation and all the expenses of traveling. Yeah. So, I mean, eventually you're going to save money going to a festival in your own hometown. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Someone was telling me it was $220 just to see Parkway Drive by themselves.
Yeah.
And, no offense, but I mean, that's just how it is these days. And you could go to a full festival for the same price, 28 bands versus 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying?
No, well worth it in every aspect, And
definitely. Like I said, like we were discussing last week, Parkwaves Festival had just been cancelled.
That's right, yeah.
So, and that's how hard it is to put in a show here. If the mighty Parkway Drive can't put on a successful event in Perth, financially speaking,
that's it.
It's really hard. So props to everyone involved in Froth and Fury.
And to everyone that showed up as well, Oh,
yeah, and to everyone who did, anyone who did anything who was involved. And if you were there, I'm sure you've probably got a great day. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think about that that festival. There
you go. Yeah. We could go on not that whole day, all day.
We could do a whole episode on
Froth and Fury.
I could literally just describe all the bands I saw and just be like...
It was great, but we've got other things to talk about, obviously. Obviously, not long after that, Head PE and Nonpoint came on, another show that you supported with All This Filth.
But the Head PE show, so it was Head PE and Nonpoint and All This Filth, my band, were lucky enough to be asked to open. And... it was really good. It was a Tuesday night in Perth. I was a bit
crowd,
worried.
good turnout.
Good turnout for a Tuesday night, for sure. The crowd was great. It was a good party atmosphere. Bit different for us. We were a bit heavier than those other
I remember the promoter came up and was like, I didn't realise you guys were that heavy,
he hadn't, he'd probably heard some of our more,
mellower stuff.
You're drowning and breathing concrete. You're thinking, solid groove metal band.
Yeah.
And then you hear something like, This Is Misery, and it's waste my life. So it's a bit more aggressive.
But it was good. The crowd got into it. The whole show was fantastic.
Exactly. I will say this. So it was at the Rosemount Hotel in Perth, which is, in my opinion, since Badlands has closed, the best venue for sound and
it's always had a good sound for a long time anyway. So
the engineer there, Jim, who I can never remember his name. I've only been working with him on and off for 10 years, but he does a great job. And so we came on first, and there was a good crowd there early. It was 7:30 on a Tuesday night, and you
know, got into it.
Again, it wasn't our crowd. So the first 2 songs, I'm feeling them out. They're feeling us out. And I'm like, oh, this could be a rough night. But by the end of it, they were jumping up and down and bopping and moshing and stuff. So that was really cool. So thank you to everyone who, because you know, I know what it's like. You go to these gigs, right? You want to see the headliners. You know, nobody was there. Well, there was a few people there, but like the majority of the crowd's there to see Head P and Nonpoint. Like, and we know that. Yeah. So people are just like being polite, like, yeah, hurry up and get off stage so we can get to the bands we actually paid for. But they welcomed us. You all welcomed us, and the ATF crew were there, so we had a great time. The sound was fantastic, and like I wasn't overly familiar. Like I knew the big songs from the 2 bands, like Nonpoint and Head P, and like just a shout out to those 2 bands and Ricardo from October Presents. Ricardo was the tour manager and promoter, so thanks for having us on October Presents. But everyone I met in either of those bands was really nice, and really complimentary, so that was really cool.
Yeah, it was a good night.
Yeah, and but the band that surprised me the most, Nonpoint, like
they were fantastic.
They were fantastic. They put on a great show.
Hell of a lot of groove and a lot. I ended up listening to all their albums the other day just to get back into it.
Do you know how many people I know went to that show, and then like I was watching Nonpoint with some of my friends. And I previous to that had, like, I'm not going to lie, 1 Nonpoint album. And I turned to my mate Tristan and I was like, dude, this is wicked. Do you have Nonpoint's album? He's like, I'm downloading them as I speak. Yeah, okay. He's stealing that. Like, that's not ideal. But it just goes to show when you tour these places, you will make new fans. They definitely, obviously, already had a fan base. Like, props to both those bands. You're looking at 20, 30 plus year careers each. Yeah. Still going.
I remember when they first came out, it was all part of that sort of the new metal wave. The new metal thing.
Late 90s, early 2000s, both those bands. And, like, absolute professionals. Both bands put on a great show. Like Head P was great as well. Not taken away from Head P.
They probably had more. I felt they had more energy, even though I liked the Nonpoint show.
The crowd was there for Head P, and they definitely had. Yeah, they probably had the pit of the night. Head P, if I'm judging, because I was at the merch stand, so I was watching after our set, obviously, and they played really well, and they were doing it was the Still Broke, Broke their album. They were celebrating that. So they made pretty much all of the songs were from that album. And I thought this could go either way, because, you might get, but like people loved it. Yeah. Because they had all them big songs on it. Everybody knows Bartender. That's the big Head PE song. Yeah. Like, and obviously they saved that for last. Well, last, and they did an encore. They did an encore. They did Renegade, which is a fantastic song.
They definitely remind me a lot of Suicidal Tendencies. They've got that sort of similar kind of like that hardcore crossover kind of vibe.
But they got a bit more
of a hip-hop.
Reggae and hip-hop.
Reggae, yeah, definitely.
So it's like instead of like hardcore punky, they've still got that hardcore punky vibe, but they were fantastic. But one of the highlights of my night, Nonpoint did a cover of In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Oh, yeah. That was awesome. Like, I'm not even lying. That is the best version of that song, better than Phil's. Hands down. Like, I don't care. I'm not saying Phil Collins' version's bad. I'm just saying that was better.
It was his. Well, I guess he wrote the song, right?
Oh, he definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's his song.
It's hard, sometimes it's like you'd be surprised how many songs out there that got really popular end up being like an actual cover. Yeah, you know what I mean? And was like, no, that person didn't actually write the song. Like Prince wrote like a bunch of songs. Yeah, and they ended up being hit songs. And
Sinead O'Connor's.
Yeah, I didn't know that for years.
That was probably the most famous one that Prince wrote.
It's crazy,
nobody sort of attributes to Prince unless you know.
That's what I mean, exactly, yeah.
But he was a genius, but let's not... we can go in there. Like,
well, that's it, yeah.
But yeah, Nonpoint, one of the highlights of the night. Obviously, and then they closed with Bullet with a Name. Yeah. And the rest of the night, man, and like even the drive home, man, you got that song stuck in my head.
Well, that's what
Bullet
I said. Like,
with a name on it.
I just ended up listening to their stuff afterwards, you know, because it was like it's kind of got me like inspired to check out more of their stuff. And great bunch of bands. So great show. So
fantastic show. So if you get a chance to go to a weeknight show on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday or any night in Perth, because we need people to support these. Yeah. So thanks again to anyone who came down that night. Not just because I played, like I probably would have been there anyways, but get out and support it. And like I said, all the people out there complaining nothing's on in Perth, shut the front door, man, because it's on like Donkey Kong. Like, we don't get every single tour, but the ones that do come here, like, worth going to, for sure.
Speaking of, then, let's get into some upcoming events coming up over the next couple of weeks and months. The first one that's coming up is the Spliffs and Riffs on the 1st of March at the Rosemount Hotel.
Shout out to Matty James for putting that on again. That
great bunch of local, interstate, and international bands. I think you got the list there.
I got the list.
Boris is the headliner, I believe. They're from somewhere Germany, I think.
March 1st, Spliffs and Riffs at the Rosemount Hotel, what we were talking about. So this has been going for a few years.
Yeah.
And Matty James, it's grown from a small festival with, half a dozen odd bands or whatever. Now we're looking at Boris from Japan.
Oh, Japan, sorry, there you go.
Yep. We got Pod people from Canberra. So that's like legit OG, like doom / sludge metal.
Which is kind of the theme of that event,
yeah,
really.
so Spliffs and Riffs is a bit like, your stoner rock.
Yeah, but then they mix in like some heavier stuff as well, like some metal bands in there and stuff. So.
I mean, it's all metal. I mean, Ghost Smoker as well from Melbourne, they're fantastic.
Damn.
Treebeard, I haven't heard them from Melbourne. Turtle Skull, great name.
Turtle Skull.
Where are they from? Mullumbimby.
Where's that?
Mullumbimby. Is that in Victoria?
I don't know.
Let us know where Mullumbimby is, people, because we're not going to look it up right now. 4-Stroke, Mutt, Rat King's playing. That's they are at Froth and Fury as well. Rat King, Guild, Bloodwood, Magic. Wait, what does that say? Magic. Oh, Mage. Gorilla Glue. That's one of Maddie's bands. Psycho Serene, Halo of Teeth, black metal band. They're pretty good. King Zog. Bulgarite. That's some rock and roll. Another Maddie. Busy man.
Yeah.
So
it should be another...
Raw Dog as well. Maddie's playing 3 sets.
Is he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Raw Dog's playing as well.
Yeah, it's his other band, yeah.
Yeah, and there's heaps other bands. Either way, that should be a good one. I might go to that.
And that's a Sunday as well, so that means that the next day must be a public holiday. So is that like Easter or something like that?
March 1st? It's March 1st. Easter's in April, isn't it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I can't keep a track of Easter.
You sure March 1st is a Sunday?
I'm pretty sure it is. I think.
Let me have a look.
Let me double check that, but I'm pretty... Because he usually...
It is, yeah. March 1st is a Sunday.
So which means Monday must be a public holiday.
Well, let me have a look. Maybe not. Oh, Labor Day. Yep. Labor Day public long weekend. Spliffs and Riffs. Get on out. Support. This is a homegrown festival started by people right here in WA for the WA people.
He started that a number of years ago now. So,
and like I said, it's built every year, and he's got some pretty heavy hitters there.
Yeah. I think last year we had like Greenleaf from... somewhere
Sweden,
in Europe,
Sweden,
I think, something like that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So
he's had quite a few international bands come through for it. So it's been a cool run.
So if you want more bands to come to Perth, and you're into that sort of
all that stuff,
bong rattling.
What else have we got?
What else have we got?
April 22nd, we got Sadistic Intent. They're from the US. They're a death metal band, and I think Crypt Crawler and a few other local bands are supporting that one at the Milk Bar as well.
Milk Bar, yes. It's Crypt Crawler, Bloodlust.
Bloodlust, that's the one, yeah.
Bloodlust, Louis Rando.
Yeah. Got to get them onto Hornography,
Bone Greer. Are they from Perth?
Bone Greer, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't recognize that name. Sorry, guys.
So it might be interstate.
Maybe. But check them out.
April 22nd. And then the big one, I'm looking forward to this one. We saw them year and a half ago, whatever it was now. Fear Factory, 19th of May at Metro Frio.
Cybernetic Domination, 35 years of fear.
Yeah, 35 years. I remember getting into them on Soul of a New Machine when that came out in 94. That was the first album I got into. Before Demanufacture came out. So
my introduction to Fear Factory was I had a mate who had a CD who he sold me like the special edition of Obsolete.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in high school. Year 1998, 99. So that's when it came out in 98. And Obsolete just, come on, Edge Crusher, Smash and Devourer.
Yep.
Like, shut the front door, man. It's so good, man. Shock, yeah.
That bass thing, like, when it comes through, like, whoa, when you have a good stereo
Probably
system,
one of the best intro songs ever. Shock. Yeah, great album. And that's what got me into Fear Factory. And then obviously I went back and We opened for Fear Factory and they were here
That's right, I was going to say, because they were here in 2024 with Machine Head. They obviously weren't headliners, but they were the co-whatever, you know.
Yeah, co-headliners, yeah.
And so I was kind of surprised to see them back so soon, you know.
Well, I mean, Machine Head came back last year as well.
Well, yeah, it's true.
So they both came in, what was it, 2024? 2024. And then Machine Head was here last year at the Astor again, 2025.
That's right, yeah.
So like pretty much a year later.
Yeah, they came back. And
just over a year later. And now
I'm not complaining about that.
And I'm saying, this is what I'm saying, is like, you know, people complain. But
they're back. I feel like, to be honest, though, Fear Factory have always made Australia as part of their tour.
Same with
always come.
They've
always. It's been a big part of their history and all that. So,
and they usually do come to Perth as well.
Yeah,
Fear Factory and Machine Head.
Exactly. I don't think Fear Factory have never done just an East Coast run. I think they've always included WA. I think
most of the time.
Is that?
I'm pretty sure there's one time when they were supporting Metallica, they didn't come to Perth one time. I remember
you're right. I did see them there though. Yeah. So
you did, but they didn't come to Perth. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. But Machine Head though, I don't know if they've ever just done an East Coast run. I think they've always made it to WA. Or another one?
Yeah, I can't remember. I've seen both bands so many times. I'm a massive fan of both bands, but I'm really looking forward to that tour. So if you see me there, come say hi. Yeah. I will be there. I've already got my tickets.
Yeah,
so.
Same here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be there. And
what else
one later on, June 20th, Mortal Sin, the legendary Aussie. What would you say they are? Like a thrash death sort of like...
Yeah, thrash band or thrash?
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
Thrash, really aggressive thrash.
They are very, very iconic. And they're back. Looks like they're back.
And they're bringing Hidden Intent from South Australia.
Yep. And a stack of local bands as well.
That's thrash-tastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good to see Hidden Intent coming back. They're another
Cold
regular
Fate,
as well.
9 Foot Super Soldier, Psychonaut.
Enforce, I think, as well.
Yeah, Enforce, Forged by Fear.
So they're going
thrash,
for like
seriously, it's just thrashy.
It's an old school metal night. So
and also I would say a lot of people, because they played Froth and Fury, Mortal Sin that is, played Froth and Fury Adelaide.
Yeah.
They didn't come to Perth and was like, why didn't they come to Perth? And at the time they hadn't announced the show, but I knew in the back of my head because I'd spoken to what's his name, Paul Discerni from Execution and Promotions, and I sort of had the.
Yeah, I had the heads up
that they were coming, and I was like, don't worry about it. If you don't see them at Froth and Fury, they're coming.
Yep.
So here they are. Now's your chance. Everybody at Froth and Fury,
support that one as well, because that's all Aussie metal. So
and another local promoter putting it on the show.
Yep.
So
and we're actually involved in that as well. We're going to be helping promoting that one because we've got the Hornography logo and all that stuff on the flyers. So we're going to be making it part of a Hornography event for the month of June.
Yep. And that goes to any promoters, local, international, national promoters. We are here to not just promote Hornography shows. We're here to promote any show that's happening in Perth. If it's heavy, any heavy persuasion, just hit us up and let us know, and we will get involved and promote it as much as we can. Same with local promoters. You got a local show, your band playing a show, let us know. You got an album launch, let us know. Like we're there to help the scene. That's what we do.
Definitely. And before we move on, the last one we're going to mention Catatonia, October 11th at the Magnet House. Shout out to DRW Entertainment. So if you love all that kind of like melodic metal, I guess you could say, it's sort of like I don't know what you consider.
Doomy?
Yeah, there's a bit of a doom aspect to it. I always find they were quite melodic though.
Yeah.
Well, so, but if you're into that kind of stuff,
Death Doom. I don't know.
I guess so. The early stuff for sure. I think the later stuff is definitely more sort of lighter. But they're a great band. I've seen them once before, and they're really cool. So
I've actually never seen Catatonia, so I'll probably hit this one up.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been here. I think it was they played I'm gonna say the Rosemount. I think the last time they were here, but it was a while ago.
Was
now.
It Amplifier? So
I don't know. It might have been. Yeah, I
know Benny from All This Filth.
Is into them?
Yeah, massive Catatonia fan. So you can Benny will definitely be
there.
Well,
because they kind of like cater to like a sort of almost they sort of gothy, darker sort of crowd, So a lot of their fan base is sort of that. So anyway, that's that. And then obviously we got our own coming show.
And there'll be heaps of local shows in between.
Oh, of course,
and then we'll try to keep you updated with as many shows as we can. But like I said, if you got a show coming up, let us know in case we miss it.
Our next show, February 28th, the Milk Bar. We're doing a double single launch. What is the lineup?
Video clip launch.
Buried Shallow.
So my friends in Buried Shallow, which is Mark actually used to be in All This Filth, and he filled in for us at Froth and Fury Festival. Yeah. So we got next Hornography show, Saturday, February 28th at the Milk Bar. Double single launch.
Yep.
Buried Shallow launching their video clip for Rise, I The Martyr.
Yep.
And Agamar doing a
single launch. I think there's a video attached to it. I'm not really 100% sure on that. But,
we'll touch base on that. Then you got Furity.
Hardcore, deathcore sort of band. So and they just supported I Killed the Prom Queen as well. Which we went to that.
We went to that show. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And Toxic Volcano opening up the night.
Yep.
Another 2-man project. Last I saw.
Yeah, they're 2-man project. Yeah.
2-man project. Drum machines, death metal.
So it's a mixed bag again. A bit of a mix of like hardcore and death metal and all that, So
yeah, a bit of something for everyone. Yeah. Well, most people, And so come on out and support that. Like I said, it's Saturday, February 28th at the Milk Bar.
Yep.
It's going to be great. The first Hornography of the year went off the chain.
And we'll hopefully continue that on.
Yep, and we'll have some good prizes to give away.
Yep.
Hopefully some tickets to some concerts maybe.
Yep.
And we've definitely got merch to give away.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. All the usual stuff.
And I know for a fact that we'll be debuting the video clip for Rise, I The Martyr by Buried Shallow at the venue before their set.
Cool.
And we have Mark from Buried Shallow coming in. We're going to ask him about the song and the thing.
So our special guest for today. Our first one. We're planning on doing guests anyway. We sort of didn't do it on the first one, but we thought for every show that we're doing for each month, we'll have one of the band members come in and sort of talk about the show and whatever they're promoting and stuff. So Mark Honey, obviously we know very well from Buried Shallow and obviously with his previous work.
All this Filth, yeah.
So we'll get to talk to him about what's coming up with the video and stuff. I've heard some interesting funny stuff about the video. So
I've actually seen the video.
Have you?
Mark,
I've seen clips, but not the actual whole thing.
Mark showed the ATF guys the video a while ago when he was jamming with us, and it's very them. It's very them. It's if you like to, the song's pretty dope. The mix is good, and if you like to have a bit of a laugh and if you ever thought heavy metal and golf wouldn't go together, I would suggest watching this. It's good. It's funny. It's them.
Yeah.
It's Buried Shallow. Bunch of larrikins they are.
Yeah.
So if you get into that sort of thing, and you like a breakdown, bit of groove, check out Buried Shallow.
All right. So should we get Mark in the studio then?
Yeah, we're gonna get Mark in the studio. Okay. So give us 5 and we're gonna bring Mark in. So see you in a sec.
Cool.
And we're back. Hornography podcast.
Episode 2.
February 2026. Before we
26. 2020. Yeah, sorry. I thought you said the date.
February 2026. We're in the year 2026.
I know, it's still a hard one.
2026 years after the birth of Jesus, apparently. Yeah, you get into that. Not really my jam, but I've got to read this out because this has literally just come to my phone.
Breaking news
in the metal. If you get into this band, Skindred from Wales.
Yep.
Fantastic band. If you like sort of
reggae
ragga, punk, metal.
Yeah, bit of everything.
They're fun live. I saw them.
They opened for Max and Igor Cavalera.
Max and Igor Cavalera did Return to Roots a bunch of years ago.
That's right, yeah.
And they opened for them, and that's what sold me on them.
Oh, that was the first time, was it?
That was my first time seeing them live. I had like 1 or 2 albums. I had Babylon and that, and I was like, yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
Seeing them live, I was like, man, that was
they're
really
good live. Yeah.
So good. So much fun. Jumping up and down.
When are they coming?
They're coming. This is literally, my mate Tristan has just sent this to me. Tuesday, so it's Tuesday night, 1st of September, Magnet House, Perth. I will see you there. I'm getting my tickets because that's going to be a fun show.
Cool.
So, Skindred, just announced, literally just then.
There we go.
So,
all right, moving forward. Mark. Buried Shallow.
What's going on, guys?
Brand new track, brand new video. Well, the track's not really brand new to you, is it?
No, it's not. No. I wrote the guitars for this song before our EP was even out.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, a lot of people wouldn't realize this, but like a lot of songs that bands release have been recorded, like they've been written years ago and recorded probably a year or two before they even come out. Yeah. Like that's common for like when you're in a band, but a lot of people
because you need material to play it live, obviously.
Yeah. So, like most of the time, and Mark can attest to this because when he was in ATF, it was the same. By the time we've released the songs that we are recorded, we're already halfway through writing the next album or whatever.
It wasn't. We didn't even when we were together. We wrote "Drowning." Shout out Phoenix. That was most of his riffs, but we did "Drowning," performed it live, and didn't record it till a year and a half later.
Yeah, and then didn't release it like another.
And it was only me, you, and Benny in the band at the time.
Yep.
But yeah, man, new track. Well, it's like we said, it's a new clip. The track we've been playing live for a little bit.
What's the track called and what's it about?
The track is called I The Martyr. It's basically how, in the short, it's basically about friendship and how the friendships within the band and the band itself kind of help us get through the daily struggles of like we all have problems. We all have, doesn't matter who you are, you end up going through shit.
Yep.
But that release, especially for Charlie, like Charlie gets to come to practice once a week and scream into a fucking microphone. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And just for those who don't know, Charlie is the vocalist for Buried Shallow.
Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that. If you have never seen us before or don't know who we are, Charlie is our vocalist.
How would you describe your music for people that haven't seen or heard you guys before? Just to give people a bit of a point of reference for fans of.
For fans of, well, it's my original direction for the band was kind of like a deathcore, metalcore kind of thing, but turns out I groove a lot.
I wonder where you get that from.
Yeah, so turns out I like a lot of groove. So it turned into a groove metalcore kind of mixture podcast. Like I take inspiration from probably Fit for an Autopsy and Upon a Burning Body for their groove. And
Fit for an Autopsy.
That's where I saw Froth and Fury. Yeah.
We were going through Froth and Fury before. By the way, did you enjoy Froth and Fury?
I fucking, of course I did. I got to see some of my favourite bands ever. Like, for one, Fit for an Autopsy, like I said, they're a big inspiration for me. Not every time I go to learn their songs, I fucking struggle. They're so good on guitar, but like their groove aspect in their riffs, like I kind of take from that a bit. Plus, any band that's ever been on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Lagwagon, and all-time favourites.
I saw a bit of Lagwagon as well, actually.
Yes.
So,
yeah, same. I watched a bit of
Frenzal Rom were probably my highlight.
Saw them as well,
Actually, I saw Abbott as well. I'm not massive on black metal.
I saw their entire... Because they played all Immortal stuff.
Yeah. Abbott did an Immortal set. It was actually really good. I'm not a black metal dude, but I was impressed by Abbott. Yeah.
Man, that was like such good exposure for local bands as well.
Oh,
like,
100%.
The way they set that out, like that's... what's going to push, like the local bands that they had on, they fucking slayed.
Everyone did really well.
There was not a shit set.
There was not a shit set on that
all
whole
day.
thing.
Every band I saw,
it was great.
Just destroyed.
Yeah,
absolutely destroyed. From local to international, like I said, Iniquitous Monolith.
Oh my
boys in
God,
Silent
can
Night.
that man drum?
Brendan Knock, man. Brendan Knock and I Brendan Knock and I started this thing years ago called the Brendan's Club, and you've got to be BRENDAN to be in the Brendan's Club.
As opposed to what?
BRENDON or BRENDEN or DIN. Inferior.
Or DA. No Brendas allowed.
Brendan.
No, Brenda's. We're allowed one. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, Froth and Fury, man. So good. How did you enjoy playing with All This Filth again? That was your second time playing back with
It was pretty surreal, like fucking looking back, and you look at Luke, who like doesn't look like a metalhead. He looks less like a metalhead the more you look at him.
He does, eh?
So it's kind of surreal. No, it was a good time. Like obviously, like I helped write a lot of those songs that we played. It's good to play them again. Just apart from the sunburn, it was a good time. Like,
you got hit with the sun. The sun was like right there on
bro,
the
I couldn't see my screen on my pedal at all. I had to keep bending down.
You were smart because you wore sunnies. I didn't have any sunnies. I'm staring directly into the sun for the whole set.
There's always that thing like, I just look, because it was daytime, we got away with it. But you never want to look like the dipshit that wears sunnies in a band.
Especially inside the venue.
Shout out to guys who wear sunnies in look.
But actually, to be fair though, a lot of them do it because when they're inside and there's the lights right above them, they do it because they don't get hit by the lights.
Nah, that's bullshit.
Some of them do not.
That's bullshit. They just want to look cool, man. That's
part of it.
I'm calling you all out. If you're wearing sunnies
inside, there's only two reasons for that. You're hungover as fuck, or your mum just died. There's no other reason.
That's the other reason. I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to hide your
tears. Pro tip: stop wearing sunnies in indoor venues, because
Kerry King, I'm looking at you.
Genuinely.
He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, but who's going to tell him?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's going to tell him?
I'm going to tell him. Kerry King, stop wearing sunnies indoors at gigs. You don't need to look cool. You are Kerry King from Slayer. Just own that. Whatever, I'm not dissing Kerry King here, but any local bands, for fuck's sake, if it's nighttime, you're in an indoor venue, I don't care how bright those lights are, take your sunnies off so you can
but if you're
mosh.
a satire band,
if it's part of your costume or whatever,
Yeah, but
there is leeway there.
Yeah, you can get away with it for those kind of instances, but Anyway, getting back to Buried Shallow anyway.
Anyways,
a brand new track. You're dropping the video. So apparently you're dropping it on the actual night, right? We're going to be playing
day before.
Day before.
He's dropping the video, but we're gonna premiere.
We do it on.
I forgot to tell you this, by the way. I know you run Hornography, but I'm taking over, motherfucker. We are gonna play on the screen at Hornography before their set the video clip.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, easy.
Yeah, probably should have mentioned that. I'm just throwing that out, Let's make it happen.
To be fair,
this is news to me too. So
sorry, I didn't mention it to anyone. No, but we're going to debut it.
Was it your idea then?
It's a good idea though.
It's a fantastic idea. We're going to debut a video clip for everybody at the thing.
No, because the way you worded it before was you said premiere, but I thought you were going to drop it the day before.
Well, they are dropping it
the day before.
So you'll be able to see it the day before if you've got the internet, which is everybody. Yeah. But if you want to see it at a big screen at a gig with actual people, this is where to do it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Buried Shallow are fantastic live as well. I mean, not as good as all this field, but pretty good. No, I'm kidding. They're pretty good.
Tell us about the video, because we've seen clips like the little teaser clip that you shared with us.
I've seen the whole thing,
You've seen the whole thing. There's a bit of a theme going on there, so tell us how that sort of worked with the song.
Who came up with the idea? Yeah. What's the
Believe
deal?
it or not, it was probably our most quiet member, Matt, that came up with the golf idea.
Okay. Get the fuck out. I would have thought that was you, because you actually play golf.
So does Brett and Googs.
Oh, you guys are so old.
I know. We're middle-aged men that are friends. What else do? We go and play golf.
That's what, like I said, guys, this video clip is literally Buried Shallow in a nutshell.
Obviously, Matt doesn't play golf at all. Neither does Charlie. But, I enjoy golf. And so does Brett.
Who's better out of you, or, who's the best golf player in the band?
It'd be out of Googsy and Brett, I think.
What's their, what do they call it? The
handicap. I don't know what their handicaps are. I don't actually have one.
I was going to make a joke.
This is new. Golf is, so I come from a golfing family. My brother
Get out of town. You're from Kalgoorlie.
We have a pro course. In Kalgoorlie.
What, has it actually got grass, or is it in the
desert?
No,
it was a full grass course.
It's probably the only grass in Kalgoorlie,
It
right?
is.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And they've got to do so much to maintain it, because the kangaroos just absolutely destroy. I don't know if you know what happens to grass, but when there's kangaroos around, but it doesn't last long. So the amount of maintenance that
have to be a lot. Yeah,
it's caused they built a dam that's bigger than half of Kalgoorlie to be able to water this thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, those of you not native to Western Australia, Kalgoorlie is a mining town that's 8 to 9 hours drive east of Perth. Yeah.
And I'm the only one in my family that did any mining.
Yeah,
they're all white-collar workers.
It was a gold rush town, just a bit of history, and famous for the Kalgoorlie pipeline, by C.Y. O'Connor.
I know it from the massive pit. That's what I know.
Oh yeah, the super pit, also the biggest open cut mine in the world.
Guinness Book of Records record. No one knows. Kalgoorlie, and you can look this up.
Yep.
Kalgoorlie has the world's tallest bin.
Get out.
Get out of town, yeah.
Well, it also has the world's biggest open cut mine.
Yeah, well,
Kalgoorlie super
big bin.
Yeah. No, it is.
Big bin, big mine. That's what we do.
How big is the bin?
They got a big water pipe, a big bin, and a big mine.
It's pretty big. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but
it's to the point where it's like a building or something, or
where is this bin?
It's across the road from one of our pubs.
Okay, Kalgoorlie is also famous as a mining town for having
that doesn't narrow it down. It's at the top end of Hannon Street.
Yeah, every street, they've got pubs and brothels.
Pubs and whorehouses. It's what we're like, and they go hand in hand with each other. Like,
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
There'd be less hand in hand because of the brothels. If you know what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, they say that they're not operating anymore, and it's just for tours. But let's be honest, they're still operating.
Oh, of course they would.
No shade to anyone in the industry, by the way.
I've never been to Kalgoorlie, actually. I've always wanted to go. I've never been there.
I went there for Year 7 camp because that's what Wilson Primary School did in the 90s.
Well, go to Kalgoorlie.
Kalgoorlie, Year 7 camp was Kalgoorlie every year. Don't know why they went to Kalgoorlie every year. Mrs. Colk must have loved Kalgoorlie. That's just where we went. It's good fun.
There's also a pub that has a mine shaft in it. So back in the day, the story is that the miners used to come up through the floor of the pub straight for a pint.
That's handy.
No one's ever seen it operating, so we don't know if the story's true. If it's just for the I don't you know.
Anyone out there can confirm or deny this? Let us know.
Anyone that lived back then, can you confirm? Because no one actually knows if it's true. Like, people tell you it's true. That it was
it's one of those myths and stories that get floated around for years and years.
It could have just been built because it's like, you know, tourism kicked off there for a bit. Yeah. I don't know anyone that's touring to Kalgoorlie now. Like, it's not like
does anyone actually play like gigs there in Kalgoorlie?
They used to. So like when I was a young fella, I got to support bands like I supported Carnival in Kalgoorlie in the punk band I was in.
Wow.
Gyroscope came a few times. Frenzal Rom used to bring a big American punk band.
Frenzal Rom was at Froth and Fury as well. That was cool.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Well, I missed it because I was at the meet and greet. But at Froth and Fury, everyone I spoke to was like Frenzal Rom was the punk band of the day.
Yeah, they were
100%. Bro, you got to hand it to them. They bring so many big American punk bands to rural shitty towns in Australia. Like, they had a floor show at the roller skating rink in Kalgoorlie, and they bring Strung Out with them.
Wow.
And then a couple of years later, they played at Judd's Hotel. They did 2 shows there at all ages and over 18. I went to the all ages, and they played with a band called Useless ID, who were another, like, I used to play a lot of shows with the Ataris and that. So they were pretty up there in the punk rock scene. And they used to just bring these bands that were like pretty big.
They would have normally never come there because of them,
none of those bands would have ever come. And that was back when Frenzal Rom was touring around that old busted ass Holden they had.
Props to like any band that tours regional towns, especially regional WA, because as we know,
not a lot of options here, to be honest. That's why I was curious to see if like any gigs would, bands would play Kalgoorlie and places like that.
I think when bands were doing that, there was a boom in Kalgoorlie. So where there's money, there's people, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know if the booms have calmed down a bit.
All right. I guess we'll wrap it up here. But anything we should mention about the upcoming show?
No, I want to ask
what
Mark,
do we expect, all that stuff?
Yeah. What's Firstly, what do you got coming up for the show? You got anything special planned for the show? And then what are Buried Shallow's plans for the rest of the year? Elaborate.
All right. So obviously on the 27th, we're dropping this video. So
27th of February.
27th of February.
To keep an eye on your social media.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube so you can catch the video.
Get on socials right now as I'm talking. We're not going to go anywhere.
We'll link it all in the description below.
Add Buried Shallow to all your socials, whatever your thing is.
On the 28th, we're playing Hornography, and we'll be doing our launch for the video. But we also have a little something in store for anyone that's coming around. So if you want to sneak peek into the future of what Buried Shallow has to offer,
okay.
Then
what's the something? You got any hints for what this something is? Or are you going to tell me when we turn the cameras off?
I don't know if I'll tell you at all.
I'll find out one way or another. I'm there. I'm there too.
You're going to be at the show, so you will find out. I don't know. Like, we got a little something planned for y'all, a little present.
Like Oprah, you're going to give us all a car?
Oh, absolutely not.
Excellent.
We have no money. We spent it all on a film clip at a golf course. So please buy our merch so we can continue to make more film clips because I like doing them. They're fun. Next one's probably not going to have golf in it unless I start playing really, really good.
It'd be really funny.
It'd be funny if you did like a continuation of the story. It's like he was shit in the first one and now he's really good at golf. Get Tiger Woods to do a guest spot or Greg Norman.
I would.
I mean, they got nothing much to do these days.
Well, Tiger's training his kid. I don't know if you've noticed.
Greg Norman's doing that live golf or whatever.
Yeah, which is actually the funnest golf to watch and gamble on.
Golf. Yeah.
No, look, we got a little something in store for you as well. Yep. We're going to be, this year, we're planning on dropping a lot of things. Songs. Not our
new
wallets.
Music, new albums, things like that.
We're not I'll tell you this. There's an album in the works that's going to feature none of the songs that we're releasing this year.
When's this album expected to come out?
When I fucking finish the cunt.
Fair. So basically what you're saying this year is you're going to drop a bunch of singles that are sort of standalone singles?
Yes, that's our plan this year. Like I said...
Any touring plans or anything like that?
That is
or future shows.
It is on the cards. Future shows are definitely on the cards. Nothing that I can really announce at this point in time, but all in good time. Good things come to those who wait.
Cool.
So stay tuned to the socials. Hornography, we'll be supporting Buried Shallow going forward as well, and stay tuned to their social media and stuff.
So February 28th,
and support local bands.
Yep,
like local bands.
May I just say that the stuff yous are doing with Hornography, like this podcast, the shows themselves, like they are going absolutely fucking awesomely.
Yeah, thanks.
You're doing a very good job.
I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, we're doing okay. Mark was at the last Hornography. He came in January and
shout out Bile Cannon for being the fucking heaviest 2-piece feed I ever seen.
3-piece feed.
Are they? No, they're a 2-piece.
Well, there's the single that they put out was a 3-piece feed.
Is that the single?
It was actually a single they put
reference.
Out. I didn't know that. I just watched them live.
They're a 2-piece band with a
3-piece feed.
Drum machine.
Fairly short. Came out dressed as... It was a KFC reference anyway.
He came out dressed as Vessel. Token. And their guitarist came out in a fucking full Claremont get-up.
No, you're right. Yeah. This actually happened, and this is the sort of stuff that you can see if you come to Hornography or any local gig.
I actually messaged
I forgot about that, but he was dressed as...
I messaged them afterwards. I was talking to him. I was like, look, regardless of being a Claremont supporter or not, that was a fucking awesome show. It turns out like Claremont's in his family blood, like it goes back generations, and like that's why he's got the full get up.
Right. I'm a long-suffering Perth Demons supporter.
I'm a Royals supporter.
We'll get off the bottom of the ladder one day.
We did all right.
Well, actually, Perth got off the bottom of the ladder just because the Eagles second.
I swear, this fucking podcast was about metal, and we've talked more about sport.
I tell you why. That's because metal is life, right? Like for me,
fair, there is a golf theme in your videos. That's why,
That's true.
That's true.
But genuinely, come on out and see these things. Like you can see people dressed as.
Funny story. Yeah. I was betting on sports the day we filmed that clip from the golf cart.
Were you betting on golf?
No, I was betting on fucking table tennis.
I actually think you have a gambling problem.
Were you betting on table tennis? Probably.
To be fair, table tennis is pretty cool.
But betting on it.
Have you been betting on the Winter Olympics? Dude, I watched the skeletons last night.
I did have a little bet on the luge. On the two-man luge, like I didn't make no dollars out of it. Ping pong's where I make the money. Ping pong, and Turkish women's basketball. I can't watch.
Is that just because it's not available on TV?
Yeah, you can't watch it, but you can bet on it. Like
you can bet on anything.
You can forklift championships. That's a thing. Phone boxing.
So as you can see, us musicians don't make a lot of money.
So we're gonna gamble
come on out and support local bands, support any metal band, because buy the merch, come check out bands, because that's what we're all about at Hornography. And like I said, if you're a musician and you've got a band, hit us up. We will promote your gig, even if it has nothing to do with Hornography, because we are here to promote the scene.
So let's mention the last show then, the next show I should say, February 28th with Buried Shallow, Agamar, Purity, and Toxic Volcano. It's going to be an interesting mix of bands. I think we're going to have a good crowd for this one.
Go.
I don't know if you have heard it, but Purity just dropped a new track.
Did they?
Haven't heard it.
Oh, I'll give it a share then.
Bruz.
Well, Zach and
I'm telling you right now, It's fucking heavy, boy.
Well, I assume they'll be playing it at the show, yeah?
Oh, 100%. So,
Cool.
like, not only do you have...
single launch.
You've got... they just dropped that, like, this week, I'm pretty sure. I had it cranked at the gym and...
That's dirty, man.
Look, I had Furity's song on at the gym and it was so good I hurt myself and now I'm injured. And, they made me lift some heavy things, boy. Agamar dropping a new single
they got
as well.
Yep.
There's a lot of good things happening.
Yeah,
Like,
it should be a really good show.
shout out Furity and Agamar. I hope I'm saying that right, Agamar. Am I saying that right?
I would assume so
I've
because
played
that's
with
how
them before and...
I've never played with them. I've seen them before when they were a 2-piece. Apparently they're like 3 or 4-piece now.
I think I played... That was that show I played.
Oh, yeah, I was there. That's why I was there, yeah.
Very, very talented. They were a very talented 2-piece. That drummer can fucking hit, man.
Nice.
The guitarist has a sick tone.
Yeah, should be a good show.
Into the mic, I apologise.
It should be a good show. I mean, like I said, I was surprised about the first Hornography of the Year going so well, but this one will be good to get to as well.
Just a different set of bands as well. Again,
but that's what we try to do. You know, every month is a sort of slightly different theme. Sometimes we mix it up, like this is a mix lineup. Yeah. So I mean,
Purity are like a deathcore, hardcore kind of
bit of a mix of both.
Blend. Yeah. It's a fucking.
Agamar's kind of like you guys as well. More like a metalcore groove metal. Yeah.
I see in their pictures they got face paint on as well, so they're adding a bit more flair than what we do.
Good on them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're... I don't know why. You're good-looking guys. Good-looking blokes, you are. Nah, do your thing. Nah, they're a sick band.
It's going to be a good night.
It's going to be a sick lineup.
A solid night.
So, yeah, come on out. Tickets are on sale already.
Yes.
Oz through OzTix.
Yeah, we've already sold a bunch of tickets already. So,
get them on OzTix or get them on the door, but it's cheaper on OzTix if you buy them. It's like $5 dues cheaper.
A few dollars if you're hard up on money or whatever. But
Dollary dues is the official currency of Australia if you're listening overseas.
Dollary dues.
If you go to the Buried Cello Insta, I will be sharing the ticket link on my story, on the Buried Cello story, up until the day of the show.
Yep.
So you can always find it there. You can always find it on the Hornography page.
Yep.
I should probably put it in our
web page as well.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like on the page, on the socials, event page. Yeah.
If you can't find it, you don't know how to use the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't know how to use the internet, feel free to message me and I'll just shoot you the link.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because that's what we want. We want people to come out and support these local shows. Like I said, people say nothing happens in Perth. There's a lot of local shows, great local shows. There's a lot of great international shows coming up. No excuse not to get to a gig.
That's it.
So remember, if the more people get out and come to these gigs, and we know it's hard, we know money's tight.
Yeah, money.
We know we know the world's a fucking mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the one place, if you can't afford to go to these big shows, these local shows, they're cheap enough, you know,
and the quality's just as good. Some of I mean, I've always said this in Perth, Western Australia, Australia in general, we punch above our weight class in the quality of bands. So, especially Perth, where per capita, we've got a good team,
good bunch of bands, you know. So
come on out.
Some of the bands that have came out of WA that are now big bands.
Yeah, you know, come to Hornography, you could possibly find your new favorite band. You don't even know what you're missing unless you
be able to see Make Them Suffer for $7 at HQ. You know, and now look at them. Now you're paying $80, but it just goes to show, back then,
Voyager as well. Voyager.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Another band at Froth and Fury. Voyager.
I saw them as well. Yeah.
Jesus.
So one of the first.
They got some really cool clips. Actually, a guy that shot some of their clips also shot ours.
Oh yeah. Same with us. Breathing
so
concrete.
Shout out Joseph Varley. If you're a band looking for a guy, shoot a film clip. He's definitely doing the best work.
I've always been a fan of his style. He's got a certain style.
Yeah, dark spirit photography. Hit it up.
Yeah.
Good dude.
He's very.
I think he's on
talented.
tour with Primrose Path.
He is.
I think they just finished the tour with Vola.
With Vola, yeah.
Shout out Primrose, another band that's just killing it in Perth.
I called it ages ago. I knew that they were going somewhere. When they were first starting out, I just called. I was like, that band is going to go somewhere. I could see it.
Can't they just fucking play? I caught up with Lindsay not long ago because I was actually
the vocalist of Primrose.
the vocalist of Primrose. I caught it. She lives 10 minutes from me.
All right.
So I went and checked out her crib because she was having some problems with her house, and unfortunately,
turns out it was haunted, and you're not a
it turns out it was haunted. Nothing we could do.
Yeah, nothing we can do.
Construction's not going to fix this. And she has an array of huskies that will just coat you in hair, but also show you a lot of love.
How many huskies?
Nice. I think she had 3 or 4, which is like
those are big dogs.
One of them has 1 leg.
One leg.
They're still big dogs, even without
3-legged husky. She's got one.
Oh, 3 leg. I was going to say 1 leg.
I mean, it was 3 legs, sorry. Oh,
yeah.
One of them's got 1 leg.
1 leg. I'd call it hoppy.
No, it's 3 legs, sorry.
1 leg.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I knew it. I was
like going 1 leg, 1-legged
husky.
dog.
Missing 1 leg.
Yeah. So if you ever run into Lindsay and she only wears black, so you'll know, look closely, she's fucking covered in husky. She's a lawyer as well, so you just know she's rocking up to court to be serious, covered in dog hair. Nah, super good people in Primrose. Check them out if you haven't, because if they keep going the way they're going, you're not going to be seeing them for the prices that
That's what I always say is that there's a lot of people hit up and they're like, when are you playing your next gig? And then you're telling me you're opening for an international band and it's going to cost them $70 or $80 to $100. And they're all like, oh man, that's a lot. And I'm like, well, you should have come and seen us when we were fucking playing shows for $10. You know what I mean? That's not just us, that's every band. Get out and support these bands from the ground floor up, because you can be part of something by making these bands big as well.
Yeah.
Get involved, man. It'll change your life. I'm not even kidding, man. My life gets better the more gigs I go to.
Yep.
Fact.
That's all I do as well.
Hashtag
all right,
facts.
we've got to wrap this up because we're running out of time. So anyway, thanks for coming in and talking to us, talking shit with us, and
always, man, always welcome to come to us.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys playing at February 28th, the Buried Shallow single launch and
Agamar single launch, Fury apparently.
What's going on? But we'll have it all on the Spotify and YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
And the socials, hit us up. Hornography, we're here every month.
Yep,
we do this podcast every month. We do a show every month. Rain, hail, or shine. There's metal to go around in Perth. Thank you very much, Mark Honey, for coming in.
Cool. Until next time.
My brother, my friend.
All right.
See you later, guys.
That's a wrap.